And then got my main man, Ira Roach, over the Zoom. Yes, I've been in touch with you for quite some time, from Les Brown all the way to myself. And you are in Delaware, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, Texas to Delaware connection. We're going to have a good time on this one-on-one. I don't know what you're going to ask me. I'm going to let you ask me anything that you want to ask me. First, let me compliment you. You just had a major accomplishment, major accomplishment. You've got worldwide news on you, CBS, NBC, AT&T, Viacom, Planet Neptunes. I mean, you're just everywhere, man. And won't you just tell us what happened and let the people understand how good that has been to you and your exciting journey about it?
Honestly, April 2000, well, let's say January 2018, I came across a gentleman named Antonio Smith who helped me with the Les Brown Institute. There were some things going on. I was confused, and this gentleman helped me, migrate through what I was going through, and I didn't. And he just kind of gave me step by step. And the one awesome thing he said was, I'll see you in April. And so that April changed my life. And then April, I actually went to the conference, the Les Brown Institute conference, and of course, again, Mr. Antonio Smith had a breakout, and I attended it, and I've never been in an atmosphere like that before. At one point, he was just like, I'm not gonna go with my script. We're just gonna ask questions, but whatever question you ask, it's gonna be $1 million answer." So I'm like, wow. So then I met my SBL group. I had a woman named Iris, who she became my big sister. And so after that weekend with the Les Brown, I had a family, a new village. And so Iris was a part of that village, and we were talking one day. Not only that, the ATS Junior, I also joined that, and I had an ambassador that helped me through that. And so Michelle was on my SBL. It was just like a big family. Everybody's connected, and I've never had that before. And so after I met Iris, she kind of was my branding manager, and then it took off from there. So that's my story basically in the last year, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, no, that's been amazing. And you were just featured in a major publication, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell us about that major publication feature you got going on.
The major publication feature, of course, is I don't know anything about this type of your world, Mr. Smith. So, but honestly, the Iris Allison group kind of helped me. The ATS Junior group with my calls with Dr. Bryant. He just my mentality. I come from a small place in Delaware. I don't see myself as a millionaire. I mean, I don't see people that look like me become millionaires. My family does not have money in the bank. I used to look at a lady on television. She would talk about some emergency funds. You're supposed to have 8 months of emergency. I don't have that around me. And so it's different when you around people who are actual millionaires. And it's a mentality. I've noticed that, you look at yourself, someone great as you, and you're still humble. What I like about you, you always say how you're not arrogant, but you're confident in who you are.
Yes, sir.
That's something I've dealt with for years. And so honestly, being around that atmosphere of you and with the Iris Allison group, that's how the publication came about. Just working relentlessly every week, being accountable for your homework, being accountable for your projects. Did you do this week? Did you do that this week? Did you do that? I'm going to meet you this time. Go on your lunch break, and because I have an exit strategy. So go on your lunch break and listen to the calls. Listen to the videos and listen to the replays of calls I missed from the ATS, and going on the website and taking the classes, and all those things combined is where I am at today. And still, it's not enough. So, being around yourself, the ATS Junior, the LBU, the Alice group helps me become where I am today. So she kind of the group kind of helped me with the publication. And then I was invited to write on the book, How Les Brown Changed My Life.
Yep.
I'm in that publication as well. So it's been great.
It has been great, and it's been fun for me to watch you. It's just fun, and I get off on watching people be successful, especially people that I get to have a little bit of influence to be successful. Very proud of you. And you mentioned Iris Allison. I love Iris.
Yeah, I love her.
She is, not only is she drop dead gorgeous, she is, she is a beautiful soul. She is amazing. And she's quite knowledgeable, isn't she? And she knows her stuff. She puts on the very best conferences. She's just that good. So shout out to Iris Allison and the Allison Group.
Yes.
Both Ira and myself give you the greatest glory and props we possibly can. So good. Well, my man, here's what we're going to do. This is one of those one-on-one things that I like to do. I want you to ask me whatever you want to ask me. Let's focus it into also what is your next best move. I want you to think about that. I want you to ask yourself, okay, what do I need to get to my next best move? How do I get to my next level? So keep questions in there, and also ask me any question you want that's way beyond your wildest dreams, that will allow you to transcend from little town Delaware to by little town Delaware. Right? Let's see if we can do that. Whatever you want to ask me, so the floor is yours, buddy.
I guess my first question is, I have not received any, okay, scratch that. What would be the steps with what you've seen? I already have, new website, new branding material, new look, and all of that. But what would be my next step in achieving the goal of actually obtaining some engagements?
Absolutely. You got two things that you need to do when it comes to obtaining engagements. We'll split them up in two. I'll give you the big one last. In order to obtain, first of all, I'm going to send you a link. Actually, if you go to my YouTube page, it will be episode 6 of Making Millionaires. Someone asked me a question. I go into great detail about that. I'm going to go into great detail with you as well, but it's in episode 6 with Donna. If you want to go back and get more information. Here's how you get engagements. For one, just go out there and go get them. Now, I don't mean that to answer the question with a question. I mean, moving forward solves all problems. You don't have to worry about being paid. If you go out, the pay will come. If you go, I accept free engagements to this day, and my speaker fee is 5 figures. But I still take free engagements to this day, because if you let me sell from the stage, I am going to get far more than my speaker fee. I can guarantee you that, especially if it's a room of 100 people or more. So you want to be able to go out, treat your church as engagements, treat your groups, your small groups, your fellowship, all your family as engagements. Throw your own conference in your living room. Invite 10 of your friends. Charge 10 of your friends $10 for you to talk about a subject that you know. Here's another favorite way that you can start doing engagements. And this you're going to love. I've challenged people with this. I've only seen two people do it. In fact, I'll name these 2 people. David Hall, he's actually on Making Millionaires too. And Law Lodeholt, he's actually on Making Millionaires as well. Both of these 2 people, only 2 people that have done it out of thousands of people I challenged. Let's see, hopefully you're the third. I want you to on Facebook, and I want you to go live for 30 days in a row, without fail, without doubt. Don't try to set a time. Just go live for an hour. And that's going to push you. That means you have to pick a topic. And it means that you're going to have to pick a topic that you're passionate about. And then it means you're going to pick a topic that you're passionate about. And what you're going to have to do is learn how to write that topic out, have some bulletin points, etc., etc. Not only did you pick a topic you're passionate about, writing it out, having it all good, fun, and well, then what you're going to do is you're going to dominate this one topic 30 different times for 30 hours. That's going to do about 5 things for you. Let's see if we can name it. Thing number 1, it's going to give you a 30-hour product.
Wow.
Did you get that? If you go live for 30 hours on, name me a topic that you're passionate about. It doesn't matter. Just give me one that you're just willing to die for, something you're passionate about.
Overcoming depression.
All right, then. Overcoming depression. Oh, man, you can do that. You can simply Google overcoming depression. And then you have all these brain triggers that are happening in your head because someone like me has written a blog already about overcoming depression and low self-esteem. In fact, I have an overcoming low self-esteem class that you are enrolled into. Go ahead, go through it, take some notes, and go right after it. This is what you're going to do. You're going to be you're one of the few people on planet Earth that has 30 hours over overcoming depression. What does depression look like on your job? What does it look like in your family? What does it look like in your sex life? What does it look like in your health life? How does depression affect your workout habits? How does depression affect your eating habits? How does depression affect your friends? Should you trust your friends when you live in depression? All sorts of stuff you're going to do. That's going to be 30 hours of overcoming depression. Then guess what you get to do? That's 30. Now you have 30 keynotes in overcoming depression. Every topic is now a keynote that you get to go to speakerhub.com and throw yourself out there and say, I am the depression guru. Come to Ira Roach to talk about depression. I can do this. And they say, well, where is your video? I'm glad you asked. Here I am teaching thousands of people right here on Facebook Live about this right now. Here's my content. So not only do you take those 31-hour videos, but now become keynotes that you already have titles for. You already have practice for. And you already have a script for, because guess what? You have to prepare. Now you take those 30 keynotes and you also make them workshops. Now what you do is you can make them out of 1 hour, 3 hours, 8 hours, or 3 days. Or you can take the whole totality of it, and then you can take an engagement for free, have 100 people in the crowd, and after you finish motivating people and transforming them and giving them the tools they need, you can say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, just for the last 20 seconds that I have to talk to you, my name is Ira Roach. In the back, I have my people standing back there. They have my flagship product, Overcoming Depression. It is on sale right now for $99. $99. It is on sale for right now. I only have 27 copies, so the first 27 people can get it. 27 times 100 is $2,700 you would have got paid for that engagement. That's how you do that. Now you got all these people going about, oh my God, look at Ira, he spread this there, do all that. And it was something you did for free. You're building the balance, you're building the people, you're doing all this great stuff. And then you hit them with, if you want to talk about low self-esteem, if you want to talk about depression, you really need to go see my man Ira. He did this amazing thing. Oh my God, I love him so much. He saved my life, and you really need to go to him. Now, pause right there for a second. What do you think about that?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Never thought of it that way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's how you push out those products. Now you're one of the only, it ain't that many speakers out here that actually have products. Everybody's a motivational speaker. Nobody's a business person. Right. Now you have product and you're a motivational speaker. Now you're on fire. Now when you accept engagements, you have a booth. Now let me make you even more excited. Those 30 topics are now the 30 chapters in your book, Overcoming Depression by Ira Roach. Oh, come on, man. You see what I just did there? Right? You see it? You see it? We went from how do I get engagements to wow, I create my own engagements, let my great engagements create me an audience, let my audience create me a product, let my product create me a book. That's how you do that. Now, your book leads me into the first thing that's when I say I'm gonna say the second one for last because it's the best. You need to become a personal brand. Now, when I look at Ira, I see this dark chocolate brother with this smooth skin and this sweet voice. You were made for a TV show. I don't even know if you know it.
Yeah.
You were made for TV. You were absolutely made for TV. Here you are, dark skin, got the filled in eyebrows. They naturally too. They just sitting there all thick and stuff. You got it going on. When you talk, your voice is so sweet and melodic. It has this melody in it. You, sir, can absolutely host your own show. And luckily for you, you were born at the greatest time to be a human being. You don't need NBC, ABC. All you need is Wi-Fi or the internet. Everything else is at your disposal. Everything else. Start you a TV show on something you're passionate about. Maybe it's overcoming depression. Maybe it's just you talking about from the small town to the big stage.
Wow.
Right?
Yes, sir.
I started in Delaware. Ladies and gentlemen, you know me. My name is Ira. I started in Delaware. My town is 17,000 people. Now, don't laugh at that because I come from a small town and I live in a small town right now. I prefer to live in small towns because I come from one. I come from Galveston Island, Texas. Population used to be 80,000. A couple of hurricanes makes it about 50,000. And now I live in a town smaller than that. It has 17,000 people. I'm obviously the richest person in my town, no doubt. But 17,000 people. And I reach 1 million people a day. A day. Don't let your small town keep you small, prosperous. It doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to happen. It doesn't matter because the internet made the whole world small. If we find alien life form in another galaxy, we will be tweeting them. That's what the internet has done.
Yeah.
That is exactly. If we find alien life forms, there will be someone slide in the DM of a good-looking alien. I can assure you. Okay, right. This is just going to happen, and someone is going to do that, right? Okay, cool. So become a personal brand. The bigger your brand is, the more engagements will come to you. You got it?
All
right, so let's pause right there. Give me some feedback. I'll let you go as long as you want, and tell me what you gathered, what you got.
Going on the internet. At what you just said about the 30-day challenge, Iris had told me to do that. I didn't do it. Now I'm hearing it again. I guess that's kind of. I used to be in theater and I would act, but I don't know. It's so different being on live on Facebook. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna have to do it obviously because I wanna take your instructions and I want to become that millionaire. So I'm gonna have to do it. So how do you get over that? You know.
Yeah, certainly. The way you get over it is you don't talk at the camera, you talk to your audience.
Okay.
Remember, and this helps me, and hopefully it'll help you. For me, and I have a bad background, bad childhood, I should say. For me, there's a little Tony out there that needs to hear me. They're stuck, and I'm the only one that can reach them. And even in this one-on-one interview for you, I'm still talking to people who are going to see this later, even if it's 10 years from now. And I'm telling you and anybody who will watch later that you have someone out there, just one person. If it's two, it could be 2 million. Someone out there, they need you. And you're the only person that can talk with your voice. And when you remember that, I'm not trying to be, motivational. There's somebody out there hurting right now, Ira. They're hurting right now. They're hurting. They're hurting over depression. They are, they're on drugs. They just came out to their parents. Parents abandoned them. They're homeless with no socks. They are under a bridge, and you're the only person that can reach them. You're the only person that can reach them. And when you remember that, you stop talking at the camera. See, when we talk at the camera, we're never genuine. Humans, once we're being watched, we stop being ourselves. But when you remember that there's somebody out there, then you will be yourself. And you will say, you know what? That person out there really needs me. Then you stop talking at the camera and you start talking to your audience. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
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 That's why every time I talk, I am just convinced that there's someone that's hearing me that absolutely is in tears or inspired by what I'm about to say. And they're going to change their life to move forward. Got it?
Got it.
Yes. So yeah. So definitely think about that, man. What else you got?
Honestly, that was my main question on
Sure.
how to go to the next
Yeah.
and you just basically do it water of course. That was my main question. And I did watch the one lady with the Come to Millionaire, and I watched it, trying to watch her work and trying to work.
Okay.
I did hear some of that, but I'm gonna go back and look at it again.
Yeah. Take what I just said, and I said, well, I don't want to say I said more there. I just actively listen, and I figure out what's holding you back, or what you're saying, and then I tailor my questions to you. There's also some information for her that I gave because she was asking some specific things, and I put that out there. But I wanted to answer your question. I didn't want to defer you to a link. I wanted to actually answer your question as well. That's what we got the 30 live videos and things like that. As far as your next best move, my man, you should have a TV show. Honestly. Let me tell you about your TV show. Just because you put it on Facebook don't mean everybody's going to see it. Put it on Facebook. Put the same content on YouTube. Put that same content on LinkedIn. Put that same content on podcasts. The same thing. Have it on all the channels. Put it on Twitter. Do it. Put it on IGTV now. Put it everywhere you can. Put it everywhere you can. Your one episode should be on 7 to 8 different platforms. Every time. You grind. And when you go to YouTube and you do your show, and remember, video is the fastest way to build trust over the internet. Video is the fastest way to build trust over the internet because I can see you. I can feel you. I can feel your energy. I can see that you're trustworthy. When you do that, don't worry about your following. If you become better, your audience will force you to become bigger.
Wow.
I promise you that.
Wow.
Well, sweet. Okay, then. That's pretty fun. Okay, you got nothing else?
Honestly, you just did it again. If I ask you one more question.
Sure.
You're going to be involved in the Incredibles. We're going to Canada.
Yep, I'll be there.
I think we have 5 or 10 minutes. Sure. What would you suggest that I start working on as my story for that platform?
This is what I want you to do. This is what I would do. With 5 to 10 minutes, I would come up with 2 stories. Don't have to be yours unless are you telling your story?
Not sure yet.
Okay, this is what you do. I want you to come up with 2 stories. You can Google these. All you gotta do is Google. Here's how I find a lot of my stories. I put sermon illustrations, even though I'm not looking for a sermon.
Right.
Sermon illustrations are always amazing, right? You know what I'm saying? I could be Muslim and atheist at the same time. I would still put in Google sermon illustration because I'm looking for these heartfelt emotional stories, right? You can put that, or you could put heartfelt stories, heartfelt illustrations, and things like that. Sermon illustrations. I will find 2 of them. Why would I find 2 of them? Glad you asked. Because everyone always going to remember how you started off, and they will only ever remember how you ended. Wow. You're going to pick an opening illustration, and you're going to end with a closing illustration. That says 10 minutes. That means 3 minutes, or 3 minutes for the opening, 3 minutes for the closing. You got 4 minutes. You got 4 minutes to give the meat of your conversation. Make sure your illustrations match the meat.
Okay.
You get it? So if you're going to talk about depression, you want to look up illustrations about depression, inspiring stories about depression, and you're going to find 2 of them, and you're going to stir their souls in the beginning, and then you're going to uplift them at the end, and it's going to look something like this. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ira, and I want to tell you about a story about 2 kids. There were 2 kids, and they were great kids. They loved their mom, and their mom loved them. And they went out and they played one day, and as they were playing every single night, they came home before the street lights were on. But this one night, they didn't come home. The mom knew that these kids were not upset, knew that these kids were not bad. She immediately called the cops, and the cops came. And the mom said they always play by these sand dunes. And they went, but it was nighttime. They could not see. In the morning, the police finally found the youngest brother in a sand dune with sand to his neck. And in the sand to his neck, as they brushed away the sand, he could finally breathe again. And they asked him, young man, where is your older brother? And the young boy said, I'm standing on his shoulders. You see, ladies and gentlemen, the older brother gave his life so his younger brother can live. And although that is wonderful, although that is great, although that is noble, it put the mother in depression. Has anybody ever had good news put you in the bad place? Have you ever waited for the other shoe to drop? Have you ever waited for something bad to happen and it wasn't supposed to? Have you ever saw someone get married, but it reminded you of your divorce? Sometimes you'll get into depression, right? Now, that's my little story. I'm saying all this stuff, get everybody. Now, let's skip it to the end, okay? Now, I'm going to skip it to the end. And sometimes we get into depression, but we cannot stay depressed because depression is not where we want to be. It reminds me of a story named Malcolm, a story of a guy named Malcolm. Malcolm was a young kid. Malcolm had autism. Malcolm's friends did not like that he had autism, but Malcolm had a father that made his autism comfortable. But not only did Malcolm have autism, he was an autistic savant. Now, if you know anything about autistic savantism, ladies and gentlemen, it means that the child's brain doesn't work like your brain, but when it latches onto something, this child becomes a genius in that area. Well, Malcolm's brain locked on ships, boats, dominating water vessels. And here is Malcolm. He is great. He knows everything about ships. He builds them from the bottom to the top with his bare hands. And one day Malcolm has taken his own ship that he built with his bare hands, and then he goes out and he flies along the lake, and his father sees a mighty rushing wind comes in and the ship goes out, and Malcolm is sad. You see, Malcolm built that ship with his hands and he lost it. And 2 days later, Malcolm in his depression, Malcolm saw in the store the ship he built with his own hands. Malcolm says, Daddy, there is my ship. And then the father says, well, son, I'm going to go in there and get your ship. The father goes in and says, sir, you have ship. And the attendant says, well, I can't give it to you. You got to buy it. How much, sir? $25. The father takes out $25, buys Malcolm's ship back, puts it in Malcolm's hand, and when they get out the store, Malcolm cries and says, I love you twice as much, ship. First I made you, and then I bought you. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how you believe or feel, but there is somebody who can say that they made you and they bought you. And for that reason, you should not be depressed. My name is Ira Roach. Thank you for coming out. God bless you. and good night. Get it?
That was awesome.
I got 1,000 illustrations in my head. I just picked out two of my favorite ones. But you get it. I go in, I give it illustrate. Both of those were about depression.
Right.
Both of them were about losing something. But the first losing something was because someone was winning.
Right.
The second losing something because I put so much effort into it. And believe me, Ira, someone's always depressed about something because life will happen and life has a tendency to knock the life right out of us. And when that happens, Ira will have a story for them. You see, I let the stories bookend my message. So all I had to do was give you 4 minutes of meat. And the reason I chose that message and that method, because you only got 10 minutes.
Right.
Had you had more, you could have showed them all. The worst thing a speaker can do is try to show how smart they are in 10 minutes. You just can't. You can't go deep enough into a subject in 10 minutes. So don't go deep. Go thematic. I guarantee you, those people in the crowd could come from every religious background. It wouldn't matter. We all suffer or know someone suffering from depression. That's what I would do, my man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 2 short stories and have your message in the middle. Book in them with your stories. Make sure your stories preach your message or speak your message. And now you got 3 movements. Message with a story, message with your words, and message with a story. And everybody goes away one way knowing that one thing you said 3 different times, whatever that thing is. And people are going to say, wow, Ira, I'm not going to be depressed because of what you have told them. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Sweet. Anything else?
No.
To blow your mind.
Gotta take it all in.
But cool. I'll put this on YouTube and send you the link personally. That way you can go back and watch it, take notes. You say you saw Donna's already, and then
Not all of it. Go back and look at it.
So all of it. Go back and look at it, and then anything else you need, just shoot me in my inbox a question. I'm here for you, my man.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you. Don't forget to start your TV show. You have a magnetic personality. You really do. And your voice is really melodic, full of melody, full of harmony. And you seem like someone that's just building people and separated rooms. And you should really, really, really put that to use, put it out there. And yeah, man, the world needs to hear that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you. If there's nothing else, man, you've been a pleasure. You're just really one of my favorite people, and I am very glad that I've met you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, man. Appreciate you.
You have a good night. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Okay, then. Bye-bye.